Good morning. Welcome to the other side of this page, which is philosophy. And although I may look a little unphilosophical, as it were, if you can open the book, you might find some ideas. So, here we are. It's been a couple of months since I did a philosophy video. That's because I covered most of it. I thought I had done a thorough job of including what I consider to be important in philosophy, the ideas that mix together, the thoughts over time that I see a pattern. And some of the philosophers have that pattern. Some of the people participated in this idea that goes against mainstream. But a lot of them just conformed. It was based on the times. And if you look at philosophy, that's the fun part of it, is you can almost tell when it was created based on the social constructs around it. Weird, right? Almost like philosophy only exists in the time that it exists in. And once you get outside of that time, it's hard to make sense of. It's kind of why I started the page. Carry on the work, as it were. So today, as you can see from the title and my long-winded introduction, we're going to talk about quantum immortality, the newest philosophy on the block. Now, the thing is this philosophy already existed independently of current social constructs. And, well, a lot of people don't realize it. So we're going to talk about it. We're just going to get into it. So, quantum. Quantum is the idea that everything exists at a wave state that collapses based on observation, or what we use as a definition of observation, and it turns into particles. And it's all one particle, but each individual fracture of a rainbow is its own particle based on observation. There's the dumbest version of quantum that I can explain to you, and how it all works and the mechanics behind it. It's all theoretical, other than the fact that they're understanding that this theoretical science is about to change every aspect of technology, and it already has. The idea that one particle is everything is how quantum computing works. But philosophy, immortality, this is the part that I wanted to get into with you. Quantum immortality states that since everything is an observation, for you to be having the observation, you didn't just choose to collapse the wave function in front of you. Big words, right? But you chose. And instead of the emphasis being on the reaction, the collapse of the wave function, this talks about you choosing. What did I choose? You chose to have that next moment. And normally when we get, end results of actions and thought processes and we work through things, this one's where you start at. You don't even get a choice to think about it. You're constantly making the decision to be alive. That's what quantum immortality is. And it gets deeper because quantum immortality takes into effect all of the alternate realities and all of the one decisions over, like a wave, like a frequency that you can tune into in any direction. Like you have a radio and you tune it into FM or you tune it into AM, and there's all those stations, right? But we only get FM and AM. There's BM and CM and CD and on and on and on, because for every letter that you can think of, there's a billion possibilities that lead to unlimited reactions. Weird, right? And here we are having this conversation. You made it this far. You're listening to me. So you're choosing the reality yourself to experience the wave collapse function that I'm creating with my words. That's quantum entanglement. They've talked about it and just, but you have to choose. There's something very dangerous in this. Free will. You're choosing. What does that matter? Well, it matters because you're in control. There's a lot of people out there that think they aren't in control of themselves. They're not in control of their own decisions. They're living in a pattern that they've created. When you could just walk away from that pattern, you could walk away from all your friends and all of your family and your job and your career and your bank account. You could. And that's the point. It's not that you should. It's not that it's bad. It's that you could. Why is this important? Well, the difference between could and should is perception. That's all. How you view it. That's it. The comfort level you need to feel like a human being. The only prerequisite, your opinion on your reality. Now you go, yeah, I don't have nothing. And I don't have friends. And I don't let's take it all the way to the bottom of the barrel. And I don't have. You haven't chosen. There's a difference. You haven't chosen to make the steps necessary to see a different reality. That's not anybody else's anything. It's your story to write. Quantum immortality states that you are doing so. Quantum immortality states that even if you aren't currently aware 100% of what's going on, you're choosing every moment to be alive. And Schrodinger's cat, if you've seen that experiment in which the cat is both alive and dead, so are you. For if everything exists and every possibility exists simultaneously, and it's only our view of it that collapses it into a probability, then how many of those intrusive thoughts did you give into and die? How many realities are out there where you committed suicide? How many realities are out there where somebody else killed you, where you got hit by a bus, where you got ran over? I state to you that there are infinite possibilities in which you do not exist. Yet here you are. Here you are. Even if to argue with me, even if to think I'm an idiot, here you are. So to believe in quantum everything, which is rather easy to do once you take away the I need control, you realize you actually have unlimited control. Isn't that weird? In having no control, you have every decision to make. Because it's not about this reality. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about who loves you. It's about choosing life. Just life or choosing death. And you have repeatedly. You should be proud of yourself because you're still on the timeline where you exist. Now, I'm not going to get into what you or I think about when we die. It's a whole nother video for a whole nother conversation. And I may have already had it in that 73 videos of philosophy that sit on this page. Just maybe. But quantum immortality states you're only alive because you choose to be so. You've chosen. Isn't that weird? What if conscience, the only reason that we understand and have conscience is to literally be the ping that the machine runs off of, if you look at it like that. And we have to ping back to the machine to keep being in the machine or we're not here anymore. That could be another way to look at death, couldn't it? It's a weird, weird philosophy. It's a weird thing to sit down and discuss. It's a weird thing to think about. Like, I'm deciding to be alive. Why would I choose all this? Conditioning, preset notions that you were given since you were a child, things that you've never thought about and just accepted as truth. It doesn't matter that they've changed the math, the biology, the sciences. It doesn't matter that they've changed art and what's cool. It doesn't matter. No, it just must be that you don't have control over your own decisions. It can't be that the entire world has been set up to tell you you have no power. No, that has nothing to do with it. It's just who you are, right? Wrong. You're choosing. And not just choosing to go to work, not choosing to stay in that relationship. You're fucking choosing to breathe. You're choosing to exist. You're choosing to move forward against resistance that says you should not choose. They always talk about war like people killing each other. That's a ripple effect of people not agreeing. And the people that didn't agree never die on the battlefield. Ever. Imagine what it'd be like. We got our politicians at the top of our countries, and we're like, all right, you guys, fight it out to the death with knives. What? No. Fuck you guys. Since you want to take our countries to war, we want you on national television to fight each other to the death with a knife, and we'll accept the consequences of whoever wins. Or, sure, you can be a politician, but the very second that you do something that's crooked or unjust, you have to live on the streets with nothing for the rest of your life. And mocked for putting yourself above everyone. What if we made people accept the consequences of their own choices? What if quantum immortality is nothing more than speaking on the fact that you're in control of your own life and I no longer accept any of the bullshit that you put forth into the world because I know you're being lazy? You see how quickly quantum immortality becomes like this barrier against stupid? And not stupid as an uneducated, because if you're uneducated, you should rejoice because you have the opportunity to learn. But if you know something and decide to do whatever else instead, a lack of discipline, a lack of self love, a lack of anything, a mindset that you have not, well, imagine a world where you'd be held accountable for refusing to educate yourself. Where if you wanted to cause problems for everybody, you had to bear the brunt of the problem itself. That's what quantum immortality already is. That's what karma is. That's what it is. It's you refusing to educate yourself and the universe going, all right, we'll just give you another lesson until you figure it out. That's how it works. Instead of us all being on a level playing field, because we all die. Can you name somebody that doesn't die? I like to meet this person that doesn't die. That's alive right now that doesn't die. Because only that person is excluded from this. Everyone else is participating, which means you're participating, which means you exist because you're choosing to be here. That drama in your life, you're choosing it. The happiness in your life, you're choosing it. The people, places, and things that exist in your life are only there because you accept them there. You're not a victim. No one's doing anything to you. That's where it gets hard because everyone wants sympathy for the things they've been through. And I understand that to an extent. Like, I get needing to feel validated when someone does you wrong. But why don't you validate yourself? What part of choosing validation requires an outside source? Forgiving something has or somebody has nothing to do with whether they ask for forgiveness. I've never forgiven anyone. I've just forgiven myself for making the decisions to allow people, places, and things in my life. Instead of outside blaming anything, I understand that 100% I create and do everything that I want to do. And only when I end up in bad situations do I understand that my self-discipline and self-love is off. I'm not in a bad situation. I didn't love myself enough to love myself in the now. See, loving yourself means you love your future self. You love who you're going to become. You love those days that are weeks and months and years away, and you know you're going to love yourself then because you're loving yourself now. If there's a break in the bridge, no cars got across. That's what quantum immortality is. It's nothing more than understanding all the way down to molecular level that you are the center driving point for the reality you're experiencing. No hippity dippity bullshit. No guru coaching. No follow me and pinkies out because I'm love and light. Get the fuck out of here with your bullshit. The world's full of light and darkness. The world's full of good and bad. The world is full of what everybody's deciding to experience. Within you is good and bad, great evil and great good, the ability to do miracles and horrendous things during times of war. It's only your denial of the possibilities that limits your experience that you're having. And that's only based on the understanding at a scientific level that until I open the box, the cat's both alive and dead. And if the cat's both alive and dead at the same time, that means I'm alive and dead at the same time. That means all of you are alive and dead at the same time. And that means that the cat, if it's conscious enough to make the decision itself, is also having an experience. But we're not ready for that conversation yet. We still consider our version of intelligence and understanding and self-awareness to be the highest form of life in the universe, to be the farthest thinking, the deepest feeling. Humanity itself is only a thought away from not existing. And we can argue with each other. We can. If I didn't understand quantum physics, we could go into it and you could debunk what I have to say. Except to even debunk what I have to say, you'd have to make the decision to have that experience. We could say that I'm off track, but I've had enough miracles in my life to understand how it works. And I get it's the face tattoo, it's the messed up teeth, it's the way that I describe things, it's the straight way that I speak. It offends you. You're offended that I said that you were absolutely in control of your own life. You're upset that I've called out your fear, called out what you hate about yourself, because you can't accept parts about yourself. You're not choosing anything. You're choosing to be a version of yourself that isn't true. You're choosing to make decisions for your life that aren't in self-love. And then you have the audacity to complain or to point fingers somewhere else.